Hello and welcome to the Double Snap Dollars Retail Informational Webinar. My name is Jackson Lancaster, and I am currently in AmeriCorps Vista working with Community Food and Agriculture Coalition. And I'm joined today by Andrea, the CFAC DSD Program Manager, and also Ian is here to help with any questions you might have. If you want to type anything in the chat, you're more than welcome to. But basically, we'll start off with a little bit of overview. So firstly, the Double Snap Dollars program is coordinated by multiple agencies across the state, including Community Food and Agriculture Coalition, Fast Blackfeet, Land to Hand Montana, and the National Center for Appropriate Technology. Everyone here today is a member of CFAC, but all of these agencies play important roles. And next, I just wanted to highlight the number of organizations that make up the DSD Steering Committee, which is responsible for the direction and sustainability of the DSD program. And as you can see, there are a lot of voices that contribute to the program and the direction that it goes. And just kind of a quick overview of the agenda. First, we'll cover what SNAP is, just because it's a prerequisite for being a DSD outlet. And then we will move into what DSD is and what it can look like before covering what the process of becoming a DSD outlet looks like. And at the end, we can give you some contact information and answer any questions you may have. But also feel free to type anything in the chat as we do. So first, what is SNAP? SNAP stands for Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. It's formerly known as food stamps, and it is the largest federal nutrition assistance program. Essentially, it helps low-income households. They're able to use an electronic benefit transfer card or an EBT card, like a debit card, to purchase eligible food at SNAP authorized vendors. Only certain foods are SNAP eligible, which we will look at on a future slide. And that takes us into what DSD is, which works as sort of an extension of SNAP. It is a nutritional incentive program through the USDA that rewards the purchasing of SNAP eligible items with matching dollars that can be used to purchase fruits, vegetables, beans, peas, and lentils. And basically what that process looks like at the actual location is a SNAP customer comes in, buys SNAP eligible items with their EBT card, and then they receive matching incentive dollars up to a daily or weekly limit. And this limit is intended to sort of regulate the spending of DSD funds allocated to each site so that it's dispersed evenly throughout the year. So that way any funding you're given doesn't just get blown through in the first 3 months or something. And then once the customer receives the incentive dollars, they can use them to purchase fruits and vegetables. And this can look different depending on the incentive mechanism that gets established at your outlet, which again, we'll dive into a little bit later. But overall, purchasing more food, specifically healthy fruits and vegetables, will not only help feed low-income populations, also improve health outcomes, contribute to happier, healthier, more satisfied customer bases, while simultaneously increasing sales in an important market. And SNAP eligible foods are things bread, dairy, fruits, vegetables, meats, eggs. And by purchasing those with their EBT card, customers will then be able to purchase more of the SNAP eligible foods, which again includes fruits, vegetables, beans, peas, and lentils. And it is important to note that DSD applies to whole fresh produce, so customers can use it to purchase things like lettuce, leafy greens, but they can't use it to purchase something like a salad kit with extra dressings or sort of other additives like that. And the goals of Double Snap as a program are to equitably increase food access and health outcomes for low-income community members across Montana. We use a equity matrix where CFAC prioritizes outlets on a number of different factors, like community demographics, such as if your outlet services maybe tribal populations, that's something, accessibility, sorts of factors like that. We look to increase customer base and support financial avenues for local businesses and farmers. CFAC does encourages retailers to procure food from local sources, which contributes to an increase in the amount of circulating dollars within the local food economy. And then we can just quickly look at the SNAP map. This map shows DSD outlets across Montana and is an excellent resource from Abundant Montana, but it can also be found on the Double Dollars Montana website. I don't know, Ian or Andrea, if you want to put that in the chat, that would be great. And as you can see, there are retailers all across Montana, and there are even some that have joined the program recently that aren't on this map yet, in places like Glendive Bank and Lewiston, just for a few of them. But quickly, we'll go over some impacts that Double Snap has had so far. The DSD program has recirculated over 1.5 million into Montana's local food economy. And based on a survey of 200 participants, 86% reported consuming a greater number of fruits and vegetables, which aligns with our goal of improving health outcomes. And we do require data collection, which we'll look at in a little bit, but based on the data that we've collected so far, we have seen retailers receive match amounts up to $2,600 in 1 month, which may not be entirely reflective of the numbers at your outlet, but CFAC will help provide marketing materials to ensure the best program outcome we can achieve together. But sort of why you may want to be invested in this as a retailer. Firstly, DSD can just help you put you one cut above the competition. Basically, by providing incentive dollars, SNAP customers will be more likely to shop at your store than other SNAP authorized stores. So you're not only bringing in extra funds through the match that DSD brings, but also any customers that may not have been at your store, you're also getting their other shopping, which increases produce sales, obviously, which means faster product turnover, which means higher shelf quality and satisfied customers. And that can just build on itself and become cyclical. And to help with program success, obviously, CFAC will contribute personalized marketing materials for your location. This includes things like flyers, DSD-specific information sheets, and your location on our brochure. And so joining Double Snap, firstly, SNAP customers can be matched up to a daily or weekly limit. The dollar limit will be balanced between the needs of the retailer/customers and the budget capacity of CFAC. But successful program implementation would look like, firstly, working with your POS provider to integrate DSD at the checkout. You may need to do this depending on the incentive mechanism that you've decided to integrate at your store. You need the ability to provide cashier training and oversight. Cashiers obviously need to be able to operate whatever incentive mechanism you're utilizing, but they also need to be able to communicate it with the customers, especially with automatic incentive mechanisms where the customer may be unaware of the money that they're earning. You need to engage in program outreach and advertising at your location. This just goes back to the flyers and posters and advertising that CFAC will help provide. And commitment to local food procurement. One of the goals of CFAC is to prioritize local food procurement to positively influence local farmers and food economy. So we do encourage retailers to do what they can to offer local options. That can also be a conversation between yourself and us about what that looks like and maybe anything that we could help do along in that process. And also offering a friendly and welcoming atmosphere to SNAP customers. It is important that SNAP customers feel welcome so that they can comfortably utilize their benefits. Also, any discrimination, I believe, is technically illegal. Step one, you must be SNAP authorized to join DSD. DSD works by matching SNAP spending, and therefore it is a requirement. But you can apply if you're not already SNAP authorized at the Food and Nutrition Service website, and CFAC will provide a referral to technical assistance and anyone who may need that. Step two of joining DSD is the EBT technology/POS systems. Retailers need the appropriate EBT technology to offer SNAP as well as communicate DSD earnings and redemptions to customers. And you need to be able to establish an incentive mechanism that aligns with the needs and capabilities of your site. And this could be based on the POS capacity or just methods that work well with your customer needs. For example, if you have customers that sort of shop irregularly, where they may be long breaks between shoppings, then something like a coupon-based incentive mechanism might not be the best because coupons can be forgotten or lost. So if they're not returning quickly, then they might not be able to utilize those. And then we have a quick video about sort of incentive mechanisms that are common, and we can just watch this quickly. Can you guys?
Jackson, I cannot hear any sound on the video.
Okay. If sound's not coming through, we can send the video out afterwards, and I can just talk about each of them, if that works for everyone.
Sure.
Sure. So the first one with the instant discount, earnings are automatically redeemed when qualifying items are purchased, and the incentive amount is used to reduce the amount of payment from customer EBT account. So there are pros and cons to this. Incentive is entirely machine generated if the technology is set up correctly. Cashier may need to indicate an EBT purchase for this to work, but customers do receive instant rewards. So the cons is the customer may be unaware of their benefits and not utilize them effectively. Basically, if someone doesn't know that they're earning, say, $10, then they will not purchase produce up to $10. They may only spend 5, or they may not spend any. So it's important to communicate that with them so that they are able to utilize those. And this also just may not be an option if your POS system cannot operate it. You may need to split the transactions so that they're receiving rewards on a separate later transaction. Also, it doesn't incentivize returning trips because they're getting all of the rewards now, like the coupon methods would. So the next is the register generated coupons, which basically is just coupons issued for incentives earned. They may have an expiration date. The pros of this one encourages customers to return for another shopping trip. Coupons can be used regardless of certain tender types used. Customers are knowledgeable of their incentive amounts because they have a physical reminder and it says how much it's worth. If the coupon uses a blue code, however, it may need to be manually entered, which can be quite slow and demanding for cashiers if there's a line or a holdup or something. Some POS systems cannot manage this type of incentive mechanism, and some coupons may round down. And again, coupons can be lost or forgotten, so that could be lost earnings there. And then some other incentive mechanisms, we have manually generated coupons. This is earnings that come in the form of pre-printed coupons or vouchers that we would supply you with and that you would hand out to people as they purchase SNAP eligible items. And this is very simple, does not require much POS configuration, but the cons is that it does require more physical effort to track issuing and redeeming. More time required for the cashier, and paper coupons, again, can be forgotten or lost. And then the last one is the loyalty mechanism, where earnings are noted on the receipt and stored on the loyalty card. Redemption is triggered with use of loyalty card on the same or future transactions. Some of the pros for this is customers can use their normal loyalty card and don't need to remember a coupon. They can be used at multiple stores in the same chain if that applies to you. Advanced reporting possibilities, and it also just generally results in higher redemption rates. But the cons, again, since it's automatic, they may not be aware of their incentives, and depending on the software, this may take time to receive the incentives. So if your software takes up to 24 hours, then they would not be able to redeem those in the same day, and it would be a return trip, which could be a good thing if you want them to make multiple trips so that they're frequenting the store more often. POS software also may just be expensive. And then next would just be to complete a DSD application. When you're completing an application, we ask for usual general information such as contact info, location, hours, stuff like that. But we also ask for SNAP information like your FNS SNAP number and SNAP sales for the past 2 years, as well as some DSD goal information like the amount of match you would like to provide, how much funding you're requesting, etc. This is just to give CFAC an idea of the needs of your store so we can designate funding capabilities for your site. Some site specifics, again, just to reiterate, once you've been approved and determine an incentive mechanism, you may need to work with your POS provider to integrate the mechanism. You will need to review and sign an MOU with CFAC, which is just a program contract. Train staff on implementing the program with your incentive mechanism and promote the program with the help of CFAC. And sort of the last requirement would be that CFAC does require monthly data tracking. So data would be due at the end of the next month. So data for February would be due at the end of March, but there may be times where we ask for data a few days early, but those needs would be communicated and usually would just align with quarterly reports and stuff like that. Supporting documentation is required and may look different for different sites. We do ask for the same information from different sites, but just the form that the sheet takes or how your POS system provides you that information would look different, but it requires information like SNAP data and DSD data, specifically the amount issued and redeemed for those. And then it would be verified by CFAC staff. Either Andrea or myself would do that verification. And we will reach out if anything doesn't align with the supporting documentation for clarity. And with all of that in mind, that is everything for today and just sort of an overview on how things look. And we have some contact information for anyone who may need it. So, yeah, and then Roy, if you have any